and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe in Lagos.
Greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwa. Cecilia, good to have you back on the show. And what a time for you to return. So much going on in our action-packed world of sports.
It's a loaded package tonight, Austin, starting from the fallout from Euro 2024 with Gareth Southgate. Well, he has stepped down as the coach of the England national team. He's been there since 2016. After about 102 games, he felt he cannot cope anymore. So he steps down. I believe most of the critics will be happy that he's leaving that team. The most successful period England have ever had since 1966. And also on the show, yes, we'll celebrate the Spanish national team. Austin is like Spain, it's everywhere. Let's start from, do we start from Costa Rica? No, let's leave that. That was 2022. Let's start from 2023. The Women's World Cup, they won it for the first time. And of course, the Champions League men and women, the Spanish team.
Right.
Then look at tennis. Carlos Alcaraz, and now Euros. I mean, for the fourth time, winning European titles, so nobody can actually contest with the Spanish team. So let's see what's going to happen going forward. Yes, we'll celebrate that team tonight on the show. And Kylian Mbappe, at the age of 13, he was invited to the Santiago Bernabeu by Zinedine Zidane, then the coach. He was 13 at that time when Zinedine Zidane was the coach. And now at the age of 25, finally achieved his dream of playing for Real Madrid. He was unveiled tonight. We will talk about that. And from the home front, yes, Nigeria Football Federation, for the first time in the history, organized, well, a coaching license for the women's coach. That's a coaching license C. That was what was organized by Nigerian Football Federation for women for the first time in the history of the Federation. We'll talk about that on the program. Of course, it's 10 days to Paris 2024 games. What's the update? Thomas Bach and all of them have been talking following the unveiling of the Olympic Village. And of course, training facilities taking a tour of that. Actually, Paris is ready to host the Olympics because athletes will start arriving Paris July 18. That's on Thursday here. Austin is a loaded package. So much to talk about. Yes, MPFL also, the draws have been done. And you're going to be having the two champions clashing. Economic Warriors, champions of the Federation Cup, and of course, Enugu Rangers, champions of the league. Loaded package tonight, Austin.
So much going on in our action-packed world of sports. Cecilia, what a story. This Spanish national team, we just can't stop talking about them. Young team, played arguably the best football at the Euros. As you said, we must study what they are doing. It's not just at the senior level, even at the age grade. They are bossing football everywhere. And you know what? They're saying that they're coming again. That means they won 2026 FIFA World Cup. In fact, I spoke to some fans when they were celebrating in London, and they said, look, they want to win the FIFA World Cup. And I think there's an inscription that they had on their trophy tour bus that says something about they want another one. So this is a Spanish team that's got something going. You know, I think the vision should be studied, you know. With what happened with the FA boss right after they won the FIFA Women's World Cup, you would think that it would cause some sort of disruption. No way.
The focus.
This problem came to the Euros and showed other countries how to play football. So I love it, you know. I love everything. And what a story. What can we say about Kylian Mbappe? Cecilia, there's just something about when you understand how to do football business. Give it up to Florentino Perez and the Real Madrid team. Just look at the record crowd that came out for Mbappe's unveiling. And even without him kicking the ball, they're already having return on investment. That's what it means to put your money where your mouth is, Cecilia.
That's what it is. I mean, the unveiling was powerful. But then we're going to start it off with Gareth Southgate tonight because, I mean, that's the breaking news today. I mean, no one expected that he was going to leave the national team immediately after they failed to nick the Euro. I mean, Austin, it seems Gareth Southgate is not a lucky man. I mean, at the World Cup, it was quarterfinals. The last Euro, he also got to the final, losing to Italy and now to Spain. And somehow, immediately after that, he felt he cannot cope anymore. Since 2016, 102 games, leading the team to semi-finals at the World Cup in 2018. Of course, Euros finals, back-to-back 2021 and now 2024. Losing to Spain was kind of painful, especially the way the second goal came. But I think there's something for England to cheer. Yes, they may be down and out, but the world champions, talking about the women, I mean, they've qualified for next Euros 2025. Maybe they'll have opportunity to actually defend the title. Let me just take a look at the stats coming from Gareth Southgate before we welcome our guest on the show tonight. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this now. This is what he had, UEFA Pro license. For Gareth Southgate, he was appointed 2016, and he stepped down today, July 16, 2024. How many matches he has played? 102. He won 64, drawing 20, and losing 18. People can say this is a pass mark. That's Gareth Southgate for you. But after all this, he felt he cannot cope anymore. He had to step down from that position. So we welcome our guest to the show tonight, talking about the Managing Director of Resort Sport, Mario Leo. If he's ready to join us, good evening. It's great to have you on the program.
Cecilia, it's a great pleasure for me to be on the show tonight. And I'm honored, and it's a great privilege to join the show with Austin and yourself.
Thank you. All right, let's start off with Gareth Southgate stepping down. Were you surprised by his decision?
Actually, no, to be honest. I mean, he obviously has been criticized a lot. He's had achievements. He led England to 2 consecutive finals and couldn't win it. But obviously, he was very criticized by the English media, by the English fans. Because when you look at the Premier League is all about excitement. The Premier League is all about fun and goals. And Gareth Southgate's style of play was more conscious, more defensive, more aligned. He learned England to win important games. He learned Team England to win on penalties. I mean, something they were really kind of upset all the time. And obviously it's always a good balance. I think he's got the best out of the team, and when you see the appreciation posts by Jude Bellingham, by Harry Kane, and by all the others across social media or in the media statements they made, they are thankful. But on the other hand, obviously they also know that they look forward to the next coach, and obviously there's some international contenders for the job, but also some domestic ones. So let's see what England brings on.
Looking at that, the contenders, do you have anyone in mind that can actually step into Gareth Southgate's shoes? Because we've read out its profile, what it did for England. It's been a long time we saw England team this successful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think for the English Football Association, the biggest challenge is now, do you rely or do you select a homegrown coach like Graham Potter? And Gordie Howe is sort of on the ranks from Newcastle United, or do you go for an international coach like Mauricio Pochettino, Thomas Tuchel have been named as possible successors? So that's a strategic decision the English Football Association has to take now, and I think they will choose wisely. But ultimately, I feel that there is a possibility that the English Football Association will select an international coach to really make sure because when you look into the Premier League overall, how many domestic coaches are coaching in England? Yeah, you've got Pep Guardiola leading Manchester United, Erik ten Hag leading Manchester United, Pep Guardiola, Man City, of course. You have Arne Slot now replacing Jurgen Klopp as Liverpool coach. So there's a lot of international coaches within the Premier League, and the majority of the Premier League players are the national team players. They all play in the league at home. So they are used to international coaches, and that's why I think it's a very, very conscious and wise decision the English FA have to take now.
Okay. Austin?
Mario, I've been looking at, this English team, and I've been trying to, see where we can create a balance. Everyone is talking about Gareth. Why is no one calling out the players? Is it because they didn't show the sort of commitment or give it a sort of push or even understood the assignment going to the Euros? Is that what has put Gareth in a difficult position and forced him to resign?
I don't think forced him to resign. I think obviously Gareth Southgate is a man, a very wise man. Obviously he led England, and he's, I think, one of the longest serving England managers on the sidelines, and he can claim some successes because obviously all his predecessors never managed to bring England to a final, and he managed it in 2 consecutive tournaments. So obviously that final step has not been taken. Whether that's on let's say the safety measures Gareth Southgate has done, because obviously he stabilized the defense here. He always had a very strong back four, a very defensive kind of orientated midfield. And when you look at the start of the Euro, England was not inspiring, but it was not, I think, the lack of physical presence or Gareth Southgate's match preparation. We have to consider, obviously, Jude Bellingham has been 21 years of age, and he won the Champions League on June 1st. And 12 days later, he need to enter the Euros. I think Team England was mentally tired when they entered the tournament, and obviously got to a stage throughout the tournament, obviously, where they had the belief. And when you look at the semi-finals, that was an incredible Phil Foden, like we know him in the Man City shirt. And there were many comments on social media that finally Phil Foden arrived at the national team, where everything came in. So I think the style of play was coordinated with the team, because Gareth Southgate always relied on Jude Bellingham coming through the center. And in the semi-final, the team moved Jude Bellingham more to the left side, to give a little bit more support for Phil Foden. So obviously, I think what I really like to see on Gareth Southgate in these kind of, let's say, boring games, that he made clear decisions at halftime. He made substitutions or changes to the match plan or to the game plan very early on. Here he was sitting calm on the sideways. He was not a very active player on the sidelines. He was sitting on the bench most of the time. And I think overall, he got to the maximum of his possibilities with Team England. And it needs a kind of a fresh restart that Team England can really come up with a second kind of game plan.
So the FA, there are hints that they're looking at Eddie Howe or Graham Potter as possible successor to Gareth Southgate. Sincerely, Mario, look at Eddie Howe. Look at Graham Potter. Are they up to the level of Southgate?
When Gareth Southgate was named the coach, I think we obviously heard kind of the same stories, Austin, to be honest. So everybody was saying, well, he's got no team experience, no club experience. How can he become an England manager? And he's done well. I mean, a club coach is significantly different than a national team coach. See, a national team coach is more working actually on the psychology of the players, because obviously he hopes that the national team players he calls up for the international windows, that they come ready, they come physically prepared, they come mentally prepared, and they want to have fun. So it's more like really aligning the team, because you can't do any physical exercise, you can't do a lot. So it's small things he need to adjust, and the national team coach need to do. To be very perfectly honest, I must say, I don't think that neither Graham Potter or Eddie Howe are doing it. But when you look into De La Fuentes, the Spanish coach, you see that he's meant for being a national team coach. He had the experiences from the under 17, from the under 19, from the under 21, and now he's the national team coach of Team Spain, winning the Euros. They know that there is 7 international windows, or actually 4 international windows with 7 to 8 matches per year. And you need to be, as a coach, also mentally prepared to welcome the players. And if they come, obviously, with a successful Premier League match or club match to the national team, everything is great. They are positively minded and in positive mood. But when they lose, it's a national team coach to sort of give them that distraction, give them that change, and say, hey, different ball game now. It's an international break. You represent your country. Get ready, get focused, and obviously align 24 stars. And that's a big challenge. And I think Gareth Southgate had that psychology mentality with the players, that connection with the players. That's why you see the humble kind of recognition of his work. It's about appreciating the players as well.
I know. I keep telling people that coaching is not just a difficult role, it's a deep role, because you need to even manage yourself on that role. Let's talk about Spain. Let's celebrate this victorious Spanish team at the Euros. And look, Mario, I don't understand what they want again. They wrote on their bus that it's only the beginning. What else does this Spain team want?
Well, the Spanish team obviously wants to gain glory, as every footballer wants to gain glory. So, but the Spanish team and actually the Spanish FA have a tremendous evolution on their careers. I mean, they collect youth titles, they collect all the titles. I think I read yesterday or this morning actually in the newspaper, there's been 26 international finals in all competition: European League, Conference League, Champions League, and obviously the national team tournaments. And whenever a Spanish team participated, they never lose. So it's also about the winning mentality, the belief in the possibilities. And I think, like I said, Spanish have done fantastic. They changed their youth development programs where they don't focus on the team, because many coaches they want to sort of endorse and empower the team, but the Spanish team is actually about individuals, and everybody individually can unleash their talent, can bring their talent on the pitch, and then they work as a unit where everybody knows what's happening, and even there are surprise moments, but things are covered. Yeah, you see Rodri as the general in the defensive midfield. He kind of get the creativity of Fabian Ruiz, and then Lamine Yamal. And Nico Williams obviously as well. I mean, fantastic to see all those things.
All right, Cecilia.
Now you will understand why you have 6 of the players in the European team of the tournament. 6 players from Spain in that. Let's wrap up with the Spanish team. People have talked about technology, how it's actually helping them. Is that really a factor? Because we heard of the oxygen, that they breathe in 100% oxygen, and of course the fact that the way they relax. I mean, after each training and after each game, that is a factor they actually brought into the team. Is that a factor in it, use of this technology and everything? I mean, everyone is trying to go the AI mode and all, but Spain are using something that is different from every other team. Yes, we know the English team are actually using the ring, that helps with monitoring, your sleep mood and everything. But Spain, they're just in a class of their own. Their recovery is something that I haven't really seen recent times.
Absolutely, and not only the recovery, Cecilia, because obviously the hunger, the desire, the brightness to represent Spain. Because I think when De La Fuente selected his players, we looked at the eyes, like how can he call up 4 players from Real Sociedad San Sebastián? How can he call up people from Athletic Bilbao? But he chose very, very wisely. And obviously when you bring in the stars of the individual teams and you build a unit that represents the country, that's a huge challenge. And that's like I said, that's the psychology, and that's the kind of diplomatic way a coach is managing, because you have 26 players representing your nation for the Euros, and you need to disappoint 15 players who cannot start the match. That's something obviously a coach, when the team ranking comes in, a coach needs to be really aligned. Yeah? He needs to address the players on the bench as much as he needs to address the players on the field. And I think De La Fuentes, like I said, has done incredibly well. And that's why, because he have these experiences with the under-17, because he have the experience with the under-19s, he can integrate a 16-year-old and 325 days old Lamine Yamal as a starting player, because all the established stars in Team Spain, they say, how come a 16-year-old is being fielded on the pitch? I am represented for my country for 8 years. I've got a 50 caps or 50 plus caps on my tally. How can this 16-year-old be taken ahead of me? So that's something really the coach need to address, Cecilia.
Mario, let's quickly talk about Kylian Mbappe. Is 25, finally joining a club that has been dreaming of. He said he has been learning Spanish in school because he knew someday he was going to play for Real Madrid. He was assigned, officially was unveiled today at the Santiago Bernabeu. And something about this is the fact that I was looking at the fact that Kylian Mbappe often played as a left-sided attacker for club and country, the same position, preferred by Vinicius Junior. So that's the first thing that occurred to me when he was joining the club. And now I'm thinking, yes, we know Carlo Ancelotti is a wonderful coach. I mean, he has won several titles for Real Madrid, the Champions League. And of course, we know Kylian Mbappe, how good he is. If you look at his record at PSG, 6 League One titles. And of course, not just that, record scorer, 256 goals during his 7 years right there. But then he hasn't won the Champions League, he hasn't won Ballon d'Or, and I believe that's why he came to Real Madrid. Is this where he will achieve that dream? And of course, that playing position between Vinicius Junior and of course himself.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously, I mean, it's his childhood dream. So that's why for me it was always clear. I mean, all the activities he's done, all the challenges he had with the management and the sporting director of PSG, not extending his contract, obviously led to all of those. Yeah, he's when you look into his childhood. Yeah, his childhood pictures, there were always Real Madrid posters and everything around him. So he today, a dream comes true for him. And I think his speech in Santiago Bernabeu Stadium was very, very authentic. It was absolutely heartwarming. It felt humble. It felt devoted. It felt a privilege for him to finally wear this white dress and be represented. And I think when you look at that, the commitment, he played a semi-final. And obviously just a few days later he's been revealed. Yeah, so he doesn't want to go on vacation. He doesn't need a break when the dream comes through. So that's fantastic to see.
When you have your dream coming true, no break, no nothing. Let's leave him. Also, you want to chip in on Kylian Mbappe or move to the Olympics?
Kylian Mbappe, what a story, Mario. And it just explains why countries need to invest in their young talents. Because when you look at Mbappe, you struggle to believe that he's just 25, he's won the World Cup. He looks like a PSG legend already, and he's got so much years to play. How much difference do you think he can bring to Real Madrid? Does this signing make Real Madrid now so unstoppable?
It from on the paper, obviously there's a big risk, Austin, that it actually can happen. Obviously, when you see the names, you see the squad, you say like, oh wow, yeah, this is going to be amazing. But on the other hand, what I like about Real Madrid is like they let's say they quietly changed the squad, because obviously 2 years ago it was all about Luka Modric, it was all about Toni Kroos. Yeah, we always were concerned about the average age of Real Madrid's squad. Yeah, the aging talent. Yeah, will they ever win a title? And now obviously over the last 2 and then 3 transfer periods, they rejuvenated their squad, and they are ready for more glory to come. That's fantastic for Real Madrid, and obviously puts pressure on FC Barcelona now to check their checkbooks and the bank accounts, whether they can afford Nico Williams to bring in on the left wing, so they have Lamine Yamal on the right wing. And that's going to be very, very exciting to see how FC Barcelona counters this mounting pressure from Real Madrid.
I know, such a dominance team, Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappe, look at the crowd that came out to, welcome him.
Right,
Mario, let's talk about the Olympics. We're counting down to it. Are you feeling it already?
It's going from one highlight to another highlight. So yeah, this summer is fantastic and is really full and really great to see. I myself actually look forward to come to the Olympics and join a few events as a visitor. I got tickets for the handball finals in Lille. In the stadium. So yeah, absolutely excited for the Olympics. It gives obviously multiple sports or many other sports who are kind of underrepresented on TV channels nowadays because of the dominating football. And then obviously, yes, of course, there is basketball, and of course there is the rugby and everything. So, but the Olympics obviously give access to javelin, long jump, all these kind of summer sports which we want to see. And I'm really, really excited, for starting the Olympics in Paris. And I hope that it's going to be as a fantastic fan event as the Euros have been, because not only did we see fantastic pictures on the pitch, from the games, but when you see the Dutch fans jumping through German cities, when you see the Austrian fans jumping through German cities, when you see the Scottish fans singing and drinking through German cities, I hope Paris and France are as fantastic hosts and will show fantastic games for us as well.
Yeah, and of course, that's what Thomas Bach, the president of IOC, is looking forward to, saying everything is ready when he actually visited the France National Institute of Sports Expertise and Performance. He was there, welcome, of course, into Paris. Let's take a listen to him, the expectation for the game.
Everything is ready. The organizing committee is making a great job under the leadership of my dear friend Tony Estengue. So everything is prepared. What we could see there today, the French team, which is also very important for the success of games under the leadership of David Lapatien, is in good shape, and there also the National Olympic Committees and the athletes start to arrive. So all the ingredients are there for spectacular Olympic Games, but they haven't even begun yet. So there is still some work to do, and will always be some work to do. These very difficult times, in these times of wars and of divisions and confrontations, there the message which the Olympic Games are sending is more important than ever. Because these games, will show the uniting force of the Olympic Games. This very moment, we can be very confident that on the 26th of July, you will see the athletes from all the territories of all the 206 national Olympic committees, together with the refugee Olympic team, being in one place, following the same rules and being there for a peaceful competition. And I think that's, in these times, a very important and a very strong message.
Strong message of peace and unity. That's what sport is all about. Mario, finally, before I let you go, which team will you be rooting for at the Olympics?
Obviously, I need to be a little bit patriotic, so obviously I will look for Team Germany to win as many medals. But obviously, I know that Nigeria has some great contribution.
Yeah.
Wish the Super Falcons a big success in the football tournament. So yeah, I mean the eyes are really across all sports. Like I said, it's a window of opportunity for sports which are not as present on the media nowadays as they should be. And I wish, as Thomas Bach was saying, really a peaceful, competitive, healthy and fantastic kind of Olympic Games, because Paris has the character to do it. There are not many cities who can host an event of such a magnitude. And like I said, I really hope that we will see a fantastic Olympic Games and see lots of records and cheers and tears of gold medalists from mostly Nigeria and German participation.
Of course, that's what we'll be expecting. I mean, Germany, they are not lucky at the group stage. USA, Australia, Zambia, that's their group in the women's. Talking about the football tournament. Mario, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I wish you all the best and look forward to see you soon.
Thank you. Yeah, Austin. I mean, let's quickly talk about you want to talk about the peace? No, there's peace everywhere. Unveiling of the Olympic Village, what athletes will see. They're expecting about 20,000 athletes. That's what they're expecting at the games. And of course, they'll start arriving at the facilities on Thursday, that's 18th. And Olympics is starting July 26th, ending August 11th. And, the Paralympics also starting August 28th and ending September 8th. 20,000 athletes will be at the Olympic Village, both Paralympics and, of course, that's what they're expecting. I mean, they have facilities, the fitness center, the doping center, the clubs where athletes can actually relax, everything all put in place. Now I understand why Thomas Bach actually said, yes, everything is ready and set.
That's it, Cecilia. You know, we're counting down. The Olympics is already here. My friends in Paris, I was speaking to them 2 days ago. They said the city is ready. As you can see, point of sale materials everywhere. You know, the outlook looks nothing but the Olympics. The Eiffel Tower lit with the Olympics logo. So we're just waiting for the games to begin. Countries are putting finishing touches. The Super Falcons will play Canada tomorrow as part of their final preparations before they go compete in the women's football tournament. Also, we'll soon listen to Emma Hayes talking about the U.S. women's national team. Everyone is ready to go out there and compete. This is the world's biggest sporting festival. It does look. I've met athletes who say they just want to be called Olympians, not go there to win medals. Just participate, and you have your name written that you compete in the Olympics. It's fantastic, you know. So Cecilia, yes, I cannot wait for the Olympics to begin. We're optimistic that Team Nigeria can get us talking. We don't have the record number of athletes that were do exploits, but they can do just enough to get you and I come here pumped up to talk more sports, Cecilia.
Yeah, and now talking about the Olympic Village and the facilities that athletes will be enjoying. Let's listen to Director of Olympic and Paralympic Villages, Lauren Mitchell, talking about this.
So during the Olympic Games, we're going to have 14,250 residents. So it's more than 9,000 athletes that are staying in a village and around 6,000 officials that are coming with them during the Olympics. So here they will also use as maximum of already existing infrastructure. For example, the main dining hall is in a former electric factory. We will put 3,200 seating in there and serve 40,000 meals. And this place is magnificent, and we're pretty sure that it's going to be one of the iconic places in the village. We have also, next to the Cité du Cinéma, some movie makers studio. 9 boxes empty that we're going to use as a training site. They have all the facilities, so we can actually put in there the basketball, the fencing, the wrestling, or the weightlifting inside the studios. So for these athletes, they will just have a few hundred meters to do to go directly to their training site. All apartments have an underfloor cooling system that can reduce the temperature of an external temperature from 6 to 10 degrees. And all depending also where your apartment is situated in the building, of course. But we know that there are some athletes that needs less than this. And we also know that during the Paralympics, we have some athletes that have some thermal regulation problems that really need some very cool temperature inside. So some delegations have requested to have some air conditioning. It was in our catalog, and we actually have proposed some systems that are the most sustainable ones that are on the market.
Sustainable ones on the market. Athletes will definitely not be lacking in anything at all. Right, let's leave this and quickly go to the U.S. women's national team. Austin, you mentioned it earlier, 4-time Olympic champions, but the group they are in is a very tough one. You have a Rio 2016 champions, Germany, and of course you also have a World Cup semi-finalist, Australia, and Zambia. I mean, when you look at the Zambian national team, the best strikers in the world right now are from Zambia. You look at the most expensive women's footballer right now. I mean, talking about Rachel Gunadanji. And not just that, you also have Barbara Banda, who joins. Of course, both of them are now playing in the U.S. right now. I mean, one is playing for Bay FC, just a newly formed club. She left from Real Madrid, talking about Rachel. And of course, Barbara Bando leaving China to join Orlando Pride. But the U.S. women's national team coach, she's been talking about their preparations for the Olympics. And of course, they're playing Costa Rica tonight, about 12:30 tonight. That's when they'll be playing Costa Rica, to wrap up their final preparations before they go to the Olympics. Let's listen to her before Austin. Let's take a listen to her first, and then we'll talk more about this one.
We, of course, have done the work on Zambia over the last 12 months and prepared our strategy to play against them. I think Zambia as a whole, as opposed to just individuals, I've said it before, I think on form, Banda is the most informed striker in world football. But I think for us, we have to play our game and make it difficult for Zambia to reach the positions they want to. And so as much as I know they're a threatening team and they've got quality all over the pitch, how we set up and how we control the game are of the most important order, because that will give us the best chance of competing against outstanding individuals. So my focus is on getting that right. But of course, knowing, the amount of possession the team had in the last game, the amount of control the team had, it's doing more with it. That's what I want to see, particularly in the final third. But we will face a different threat tomorrow, a different challenge. So adapting to that and just keep building the connections between each other. They're the main things.
So much to do. The fear of Zambia, beginning of wisdom for the U.S. women's national team. Our Nigeria group, Austin, as you mentioned, of course, we're playing Canada tomorrow. And Nigeria's group, also tricky because you have Brazil in this group and Spain. Okay, the world champions also in that group. We'll end it there, Austin. We'll end the Olympic segment here, because if we dive into the Falcons, we will not leave here. Now, let's quickly go to this one. Prosperity Cup 2024, Austin. Is the semi-finals is upon us.
And that's right, the Prosperity Cup, Cecilia. What a story. We always come here to talk about it. We started when they were just getting ready, when they did the unveiling of the kits, and now it's in the semi-final stage, and teams are already doing so well. What you have mentioned, Bayelsa United Feeders team defeating Adulema FC by 3-0. And Cecilia, it got beautiful that they introduced the women into it, because that's what we always talk about, the inclusion. So shout out to the Prosperity Cup for finding a way to get women to be involved. And some of the results from the women's game played. Perez Soccer Academy thrashed Pretty Queens by 8-0. Niger Delta University Queens saw Stardom Live by 3-2, while Afidi Ladies won Igbogene Ladies 3-1 on penalties after the game ended 1-1 at regulation time. So we love it. This is grassroots football development. This is community development. This is bringing the youths of Bayelsa State together. Over 1,000, footballers participating in these academies, communities, football clubs, charity organizations, and they're just using football as a tool for, unity, to bring everybody in the community together. So we love it so much. The Prosperity Cup already in the semi, Cecilia. We love it so much. So let's wait and see the team that will emerge champions.
That's what we'll be celebrating. Just look at the celebration from these girls are playing. I love this. That's Ronaldo-like celebration. I don't know, the team in orange just keep, the goal is open and they're taking in everything. Right? Let's move away from this one and go to NPFL. The match day one fixture is out. We know NPFL is starting on the 31st of August. That's after the Olympics, both the Paralympics, and of course, Paralympics will still be going on, because that's September, that's when it's going to end. But we know that NPFL is starting August 31st. That's when it's starting. I love this, because starting alongside with most of the clubs around Europe. All right, match day one fixtures. Abia Warriors and Remo Stars be in action. Beyond Limits, these are teams that have been promoted from the National League side, will be up against Aimba. What a way to actually welcome them into the top flight of football. Lobby Stars and Aqua United will escape relegation. I love talking about this. We'll lock on. Not a good way to actually start. These two sides are locking horns just at the beginning of the season. Kwara United and Niger Tornadoes will also be in action. And this is the one. Champions are together. Economic Warriors gained promotion from NNL just last season, coming back into the elite football. Both champions will be in action on match day one. And Benda Insurance will welcome Rivers United to the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. Kano Pillars also welcoming Ikorodu City. Not also a good way to start the league, playing right there in Kano for Ikorodu City, a Lagos-based club. Sunshine Stars will welcome Bayelsa United. Nasarawa United and Shooting Stars will also be in action. And Plateau United and Katsina. Now, this is one derby. We're just seeing another big game from the north, taking place right there on match day 1 fixtures. MPFL is upon us. August 31st, that's when it is starting. I hope they can manage the time well so we don't have we don't have to stop the league and wait for a team in the Federation Cup or CAF
Let's
Champions
hope that
League.
I'm hoping
they align the calendar. Yeah.
They need to work to ensure that they keep to that date. And Cecilia, the league is getting interesting because of the elite coaches we're seeing. Coach Imama is back with Abia Warriors. LC United just announced Coach Ladan Boso as their new coach. Finidi George is at Rivers United. And I would like to see what Coach Yema can do with Aimba after learning from Coach Finidi George. And I know clubs will still make some signings. So it's not just about the players and the football. It's good to have top coaches, also competing in the league.
We can't wait for it to start August 31st. That's the date for the 2024-2025 season to start for Nigeria Premier Football League. All right, now let's talk about this one. For the first time, Nigerian Football Federation organized a CAF licensee coaching course for women. It was a great occasion. You have former players there and also current coaches also part of it. There's so many of them, trying teaching among it. We have about 30 participants, former Super Falcons stars like Precious Dede, Joy Jegede, Maureen Eke, Otaz Ogome, Vera Okolo, Cecilia Onku, a whole lot of them. Amenze Aigewe, she was also part of those women that were there. They had about 19 among some instructors also are part of it. But let's if we have time, we can listen to Guso or maybe NFF technical director talking about Austin Eguavoin. Anyone we can listen to if we have the time to listen to one of them talking about this coaching course.
After it's not just a trade agreement.
Okay, I'm not sure we can get that on the show. If we can get that, we'll have it. But if we cannot get it, okay.
Especially seeing some of our ex-international here, because that is what we are expecting from them. Immediately after your playing career, you still have a lot to do for football, because if you try to queue into this, to being a coach or whatever way you think you can participate in football activities, you are going to serve as a role model to those young kids that you are going to be in charge of. I'm sure you know that you are very lucky, because we are trying to do much as far as female football is concerned. And we are going to give much emphasis in trying to see that you people are being engaged. Especially for those of you that are going to be highly committed and going to be serious on what you are going to go through for the next 45 days. We are going to ask the technical department to give us some of you that are very, very much committed, and some of you that are really, really good in trying to see how they can help us to develop women's football.
Yeah, how they can actually develop women's football. This is something we can celebrate. Austin, you have to go on the show.
Unfortunately, we have to go. What a weekend we're coming from.
Yes.
The final of the Euros, the final of the Copa America, and then we got into a new week. Gareth Southgate saying goodbye to the England job. We've got a date for the start of the MPFL that confirms that it's an ever-blazing, action-packed world of sports. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakman. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right, thank you so much for watching. But we're going to leave you with a report by Austin Okonakpa on reactions coming from Euros 2024. Have a good night rest. I'm Cecilia.
That song confirms loyalty. At this watch party in central London, these English fans kept singing and rooting for their team. The energy dropped when Spain took the lead at the start of the second half. The fans called for the Messiah from the semi-final, and manager Gareth Southgate granted their request. They also loved it when Cole Palmer was introduced, and moments later, this happened. The chants got louder. Now they believed the trophy was coming home. And with just 4 minutes to the end of regulation time, hearts were shattered.
I think we did better than we have done for the rest of the tournament. It was better. We had some really good substitutions, and Cole Palmer did super well with that goal coming from behind. We are better from behind, so, but it was unlucky, really unlucky. We've rode our luck for most of the tournament with those late goals, getting into extra time, and we were just really unlucky at the end.
I like Southgate, but I feel like maybe it's time for a new manager. It's been there for 8 years, and we want nothing. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe we need another manager to take us to another level.
So proud, we're so happy, I can't. I'm gonna cry. Yeah, we're really happy. I think our team deserved to win. They played really hard during this Euro 2024, and I just think that they didn't lose any games, and they really deserve to win. So, Allah Spain!
For Spain, it's a final very exciting. We don't win an Euro. I feel 12 years ago, and it's emotional to celebrate here in London, and we have the privileges to say that we. This is unbelievable, guys. This is unbelievable. We need to know that Spain needs more. We go to the World Cup of 2026. We go for it. We go for it. Yes, we go for it. Thank you so much.
It's a big and long reflective night for English fans. Second final in 4 years, and it's still same old story. No, it's coming home song for these Spanish fans. They are ready to chant Viva España all night long. Austin Okonakwan, Channels Television News, London.